Hi sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button, turn your notification so you are notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying a very big shout out to every one of you for all the love and support you all give me here. I am truly grateful, and you are super sweet. So today we'll be talking something very vital, man. Now let's get into this video. It's about an interview Young Turks had with somebody who explained why healthcare is not free in US. I mean, because you all know that there is no universal basic healthcare in US, right? And the only reason why America is the only developed nation without free healthcare is because they will save the lives of Black people. And then some people are going to be like, yo, everything is all about race. I want you all to know that when you understand your history, you are going to know that everything is all about race, whether you like it or not, believe it or not, right? The only reason why there is no universal basic this is because they are going to save Black lives. So for that reason, the oppressor still hates you. Even their own people, their poor, palm-colored people, they hate them so much that like they will rather allow them to die off rather than live and enjoy the free health care. Because if they are enjoying it, if black people are enjoying it, it means the poor masses are also going to enjoy it, right? And so for them, they really do not care about the poor masses. They care about themselves. That's why capitalism is a thing. And it is not until the poor masses understand that they are using them against their own goodness, because they don't understand. They think it's only affecting Black people, not knowing it is also affecting them. Not until they wake up and decided to fight them. I mean, join Black people and other minority groups to fight capitalism. Not until they are ready. Black people are going to suffer, and they are also going to suffer. And like I keep saying, when they are done with Black people, if there's no other person to deal with, they will still continue with them. And it's some fact upon fact. I am rolling this clip. We'll come back to talk about it. And I absolutely want to read all your comments. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. And straight up, I am rolling the clip.
Yes, for you guys today, talk about healthcare. It's Tom Harmon. He's the host of the Tom Harmon program. That's on Sirius XM. It's on radio stations across the country. It's on Free Speech TV. But he's also a New York Times bestselling author. And his new book is called The Hidden History of American Healthcare. Tom, welcome back to the show, brother.
Hey, Cenk, it's great to be here with you. And it's so nice to see you again.
It's great to see you, man. All right, so Tom, let's talk history as we often do. Most of the developed nations have single-payer health care. So what that means is public health insurance, right? Now, some go beyond that, the UK does, et cetera, but we don't. Why did we diverge from everyone else? How did that happen?
It really began in the 1880s, 1890s, when medicine became a thing. And there was this guy named Frederick Ludwig Hoffman who came over here from Germany, and he was a young man. He was 17, in fact, when he came over, and was a numbers genius. And he hooked up with the Prudential Life Insurance Company, ended up being a vice president. And he was the guy who figured out that there was an association, a statistical association between working in a cotton mill and having lung problems, asbestos and mesothelioma, smoking and lung cancer. He published on that in the 1910s, in the 1890s and 1910s, and diet and cancer. In fact, his book on the association between a high processed food diet and cancer is still in print. And he's been dead since 1946, but his book is still around. So he's really smart in these things. And so he married this Southern belle from Georgia who was from a racist plantation family. And so he ran the numbers on Black people and found that Black people were dying, dropping like flies, more likely to be sick, more likely to die of pretty much everything. And concluded, which was the general consensus at the time among a lot of white people in the South, this is again in the 1890s, that Black people were genetically inferior. And in 1896, he published a book called Race, Tendencies, and Traits of the American Negro, in which he lays out all the numbers, and then he concludes that if we simply avoided allowing Black people to have any access to health care, that within 2 or 3 generations, the whole race would die out, and that would solve the race problem in America. Now, it sounds kind of crazy when I just lay it out like that right now, but this led to a whole bunch of things. By the 1920s, this was referred to as scientific racism. He was testifying about it before Congress. When Teddy Roosevelt, 1912, proposed a national health care system, people said no because black people will get it. When Franklin Roosevelt proposed a national health care system, it was the same thing. We don't want black people to get it. When Truman tried it in 47, same thing. Don't want black people to get it. Right up until 1965, Senator Stennis, the Dixiecrats in the South, was quoting Hoffman, who was by then dead, but is still very famous in this field, as saying this. We have to figure out a way to keep black people from using Medicare. This is when they were passing Medicare, and the way that they came up with was to have a 20% hole, a gap in Medicare, so that you had to pay 20% of your doctor's bill and your hospital bill, and that would discourage poor black people from showing up at the hospitals. I mean, it was the most shocking thing I discovered, Cenk, when I was doing the research on this book, is that nearly 100% of the reason why the United States is the only country in the world that doesn't define healthcare as a right and doesn't have any sort of national healthcare system to speak of is because of racism.
That's amazing. I love when you find hidden histories.
And that's why you've got 12 states that still haven't expanded Medicaid, right? Free health insurance for low-income people, all former slave states.
Yes, for you guys today, talk about healthcare. It's Tom Harmon. He's the host of the Tom Harmon program.
Will America ever get to a place where it's not black people's fault? If it comes to crime, it's black people's fault. Drugs, black people's fault. The reason why a white person or Asian person didn't get into college, black person's fault. Universal health care, black people's fault. The fact that the 1950s are over and one income can't provide for a family, black people's fault. Reason why Biden's in office, black people's fault. Do y'all get ever tired of just making everything our problem? I thought you guys were the leaders, the master race. Make it happen. How are we interceding?
Any sort of national healthcare system to speak of is because of racism.
I highly encourage you to go and watch that stitch in its entirety. He's basically giving the breakdown as to the major reason why we do not have universal health care in this country is due to racism. It's critically important as a black person for you to know your history in this country. Because when you hear people give these breakdowns and quote unquote deduce everything down to racism, and you don't know your history and you don't know what these people are talking about or referring to, it definitely can come across like people are just making an excuse or making everything about race. But what you have to understand is people are not making everything about race. They are digging to find the root of problems, and at the very root and foundation of so many issues that we have today systematically is race.
So this is all I got from this video, and all I can say is wow. I mean, really wow. I mean, like the other woman said, everything is all black people's fault. And yeah, to them, it's all black people's fault. They don't get a job, it's black people's fault. And then they always complain there is no black people are taking away our jobs, and then they still go around to call black people job lazy, right? I mean, everything is, and they always say everything is all about race, and the reality and the truth is that everything is all about race. Not until you understand it. But then if you don't understand it, you wouldn't know, right? And the fact that they said this is just like, I mean, this man explained all this is kind of shocking. But then there is nothing shocking anymore because, like, I have learned to, dive deeper and understand. And I understood so well that there is nothing shocking. and unbelievable about them. But then sometimes I am like, they are always unbelievable. And like, the only reason why America is the only, like, developed nation, I think, yeah, the only developed nation without free health care. So the reason is just because they do not want to save Black people's lives. And now let me tell you all something. They do not want to save Black people's lives. And they forget that there are also poor white people, right? Who are also going through the same thing Black people are going through. But then they do not mind. The oppressor still hates that. They still hate you, and they hate you so much that they do not care about even their own. Like, the poor white ones can die along with Black people, and it is okay for them as long as the rich ones or the middle class are not, like, it is not affecting them. That's why there is universal health care, because if they cared about Black people and also their poor masses, right, they would have looked for a way to make this better or make a universal health care. But no, why do we have to do it? Because if we do it, Black people are going to benefit from it. But then it's just crazy how people wake up to, act insane when things, I don't know, but man, they just do not want Black people to prosper. They do not want anything good for Black people. They just do not want to see you grow. They just don't want it to be in one place, like, just keep you within that circle. So that system they mantle, they do not even want to dismantle it, even for the sake of their poor masses. No, the poor masses are not important. That even boils down to one video Cimnanya made, where he said that it is the white rich man telling the poor white man that his problem or their problems are Black people. And then when they tell them their problems are Black people, the poor masses go out to fight while the rich ones stay back in the house, right? They are fighting people that they are supposed to be in togetherness with, to fight them, the capitalism that it's all going on. But then their mind is not telling them that they are being used. Because if peradventure poor white people decided that, like, said that, man, enough of this bullshit, we are not taking this anymore, and form team with Black people and other minorities, that is going to be the end of capitalism. But no, why would they have to mix up with Black people? Because they already told them that their problem is from Black people. Not until these people sit down to think about themselves, because, like, sometimes they do not understand what is going on because they do not have that mental capability to think and to, they do not have foresight. If they do have foresight, they would have known this, or probably they know, but they would rather die the way they are than going to form alliance or being allies to black people. But then they are the ones that need to hit harder. This is where I am gonna draw the curtain. Thank you all so much for the support. I appreciate you all, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.